Meet Gizmo.
Oh, hello, Gizmo. Good boy. Well done. See, you're coming on really nicely. He's going to be fine, isn't he?
With time, yeah, we'll get there. Have a little cuddle.
Gizmo, don't worry, mate. Don't worry, mate. He's going to be all right. God, he's super cute, isn't he?
He's lovely.
But as we're going to find out, Gizmo has been the lucky one.
OK, well, you know what's coming next. I'm afraid, unlike you, it's not going to be pretty, but we've got to do it. We've got to do it for Gizmo, for Leia, and anyone that's ever loved a dog. Away you go. It's time to go. OK, so we know that all is not well behind those gates, but what can you do to avoid being part of this terrible trade? First, and most important, always see the dog with its mum where it was reared. Any excuses for mum's absence, just walk away. Number 2, never impulse buy. You should visit a number of times where the breeder asks as many questions as you do. If you're pressured to buy, however you've travelled, however far you've travelled, just walk away. And 3, puppies like people. If they're scared of you, don't buy them to rescue them. Your money could end up buying 4 or 5 more to take their place. All of that advice and plenty more is on our website.
Next, laser eye surgery.
Now, back to our puppy dealers. John Wilcock and Bernadette Nunney are selling puppies, bringing them plenty of money, but also bringing misery to the dogs and the families who buy them. And that just won't do. We're on our way to confront John Wilcock and Bernadette Nunney, but we're not the only ones on their tail. Just 5 days before we arrive, we discover the RSPCA have raided the farm. They rescued over 40 dogs, of which a number were already dead, and one was found dying in a wheelbarrow.
We hope there are no more dogs. We hope they're now safely in the hands of the RSPCA, but we hope there are people that we want to talk to, ask some questions of.
We park up outside, and we're ready. The timing's just right.
Hello there.
Because that's John Wilcock in the courtyard.
John, Matt Allwright from BBC Rogue Traders. How are you? What I'd like to ask you is how can you own a dog yourself and yet still sell dogs in the condition that we bought Gizmo, our dog? How can you do that? How can you own dogs yourself? How can you own dogs yourself and still keep that many? Call them, please. Call them here anytime you like. How can you sell dogs in that condition to people who take them home and within days they die, John? How can that be? Tell me how you can do that consciously. Can you give me an explanation? Because there are dog owners across the country who want to understand it as well. This is Matt Allwright from BBC Rogue Traders asking you how you, in front of a nation full of dog lovers, can behave the way you do. You got an answer for me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yes.
Bernadette, can you tell me how you can have dogs around the farm and yet pull them out of a place around the back and then... Right, let's go and see what we can find around the back. Bring the police. Listen, guys, we'll be more than happy for you to bring the police. Bring anybody that... Yeah, because we're off now. There's Bernadette in the corner there. So this was the operation. This was where you'd call to come and pick up your dog that you thought had been raised in a family home, but in fact was in a crate out the back or a yard in the back, and they were being kept, we think, 40 dogs at least. When the RSPCA came in here, they found dead dogs out the back. That's right, isn't it? That's right, isn't it, John? Dead dogs. Dogs that were being so poorly kept, you couldn't even keep them alive. You couldn't feed them properly, you couldn't keep them free from disease. I'm right, aren't I? John? Bernadette? OK. Right, well, while they're there, we can go and have a poke round the back and see what we can find.
We head to where we think the dogs were being kept, so we can see the conditions Gizmo was living in. But John Wilcock doesn't want us anywhere near there.
Sorry, John, you want us away from the farm? OK, no, so tell me, now you're out, John, now that we're leaving, John, tell me, how can you keep dogs in the conditions that we've seen them in and then hand them out to people and then hand them out? What are you doing with that? What are you doing with that? You're going to jet wash us?
We're making for the exit, but John makes sure we're not leaving dry.
There's nothing dirty about us. There's nothing dirty about us, John. You're the one that needs cleaning up. It's only water, John, for Christ's sake. You need to clean... You're the one that needs to clean up your act, mate.
Things quickly take a more serious turn when a woman picks up a brick and throws it at our cameraman. It bounces off the back of his camera and hits his neck.
OK, time to go, time to go.
We make a fast exit.
You all right, mate? OK, close the door, please. Seatbelts on, everyone.
What hit you, Jamie?
A rock.
We call the police.
So, as you can see, that's the welcome that we got. John Wilcock turned a pressure washer on us. A woman we believe to be the landowner threw a brick, hit our cameraman. OK, time to go, time to go. We need to get Jamie properly looked for tools, isn't it?
But as we try to drive away, the exit road is being blocked by a van and two of John Wilcock's friends. Luckily, the police are close by. They quickly deal with the passenger who's starting towards us. Finally, we set off, but even then, the van still follows us.
He's now following us as we try and leave this place. I don't know what's going to happen. He's by himself. He's got a white transit van.
Eventually, he works that out and drives off.
God forbid you ever go to that place. God forbid you ever come across those people searching for some kind of joy from a little doggy. Be very, very careful, please, guys, when you're responding to adverts for puppies. Because you just don't know where you're going. You don't know who you're dealing with unless you ask some really good questions and make sure you get the right answers. That is what you're funding, unless you're doing your homework when you buy a dog. Please, I ask you, please don't do it. As we reported, when the RSPCA raided the place, they did sadly find some dead and dying animals. But have a look at this. Over 30 puppies now safe and well at one of their centres. We took them along some toys, the first they'd ever had. But it doesn't end there. We know there are other dishonest puppy dealers in the country, and we know that you might know where some of them are. Get in touch, let us know. We also want to know how to solve the problem once and for all. Any suggestions, very welcome. But for now, these are the faces you need to remember. John Wilcock and Bernadette Nunney, our first rogues on the wall. Dogs everywhere. Lift your legs in salute.
Brilliant stuff, Matt. Loads of you getting in touch. Thank you very much. Maria Fowler on the car seat story. Parents...
It takes Ahoy to make mint chocolate chip cookies and other ice cream-inspired flavors. New from Chips Ahoy.